Good morning, everybody. It's 6 a.m. here in Poland, and you can really sense the onset of winter if you are up this early. So, in this video, we're going to talk about the three aspects of creation according to the Hindus. So, we're going to talk about the three cycles of creation, the three godheads, if you will: Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. These three aspects of the Godhead are really just one unified consciousness, and they simply are representations of that one unified consciousness in creation itself. So here we have creation, right? The divine mother, as the Hindus would call it, and the character of creation is that of change. So everything in creation, in the world of creation, is in a constant state of change. You might have heard this saying, the only constant in life is change. And that's the nature of creation. Nothing is at rest. Everything is vibrating, everything is in motion, everything is in a constant state of change. Change, change, change. Look, as you see here, you know, may not be as clear to you, but we're moving into autumn here. Okay, so maybe perhaps you could see some yellow beginning to happen in some of those trees over there. You see, you can certainly see leaves on the ground. The weather's getting colder, but it goes even beyond that actually, because you might look at a wall, like, I've got some walls here behind me, and say, well, what about that, Saeed? That's not changing, right? That's not changing. Well, that's actually in a state of change too. Okay, those walls are disintegrating and they're in a state of change. So nothing is at rest in the world of creation. Everything is always changing. You cannot pinpoint this reality, you cannot freeze it. You understand? And not just this reality, planet Earth, physical matter 3D. It's actually anything in the world of creation is in a constant state of flux, constant state of change. And the background to that ever changing state of affairs is consciousness itself, the unchanging, the unmoving, the eternal, giving birth to the finite world, which is really an illusion in the imagination of God. So, these three aspects, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, are the Godhead aspects of consciousness itself, the eternal, the unchanging, within the world of. Which way should I go? Let's go this way. Within the world of change. You understand? This is within the world of change. So, in creation, and this is any creation, not just planet Earth 3D, but the astral plane, anything that is creation, anything that is in a constant state of flux, like, beings have to do the same things that beings have to do here in the astral plane. Okay, in the fourth density, in the fifth density, in the sixth density, things are always in a state of motion. The evolution of soul in and of itself implies that the soul itself is in a state of motion, which is of course all part of the illusion. Okay, let's see if that dog's gonna bark. My money's on that he's not gonna bark. Dog, say hello to the camera. Can you guys see? Well, doesn't matter. See you later, boss. So, All right, so then the Hindus were very, very, very aware of a lot of these things, right? The Hindu system is really an intelligent system, and you can extract a lot of useful wisdom from the teachings found. You just have to, uh, dig a little deeper, read books like the Bhagavad Gita, for instance, and the Ramayana, study Advaita Vedanta, for instance, right? So, you just have to find the right resources because, the belief system of Hinduism is a vast, vast, vast belief. And Hinduism is simply a term that describes all these different teachings. So, now let's talk about Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. Brahma, the creator god. Remember, they're all one being. Brahma, the creator god. Vishnu, the preserver god. Shiva, the destroyer god. Now, you're looking in front of you here in the camera. You're looking at a being, a human being here, right? I am a human being at the moment, right? I am consciousness in and of itself, the unchanging, the unmoving, the eternal, experiencing human being. So I am, by virtue of me putting myself, limiting myself deliberately to experience, as consciousness, I'm deliberately experiencing everything. I've come to be as baby Saeed, right? Cute little baby Saeed. Creator God Brahma. You see? There was a sperm, fertilized the egg, a baby comes out, Creator God Brahma, let's say, is responsible for that. Something have come to be, something have come to be created. And at the moment, you're witnessing the preserver god Vishnu, maintaining this human being, maintaining the health and the well-being of the human being in front of you here. So I am currently in the state of preservation. I am being preserved by Vishnu. And you may argue that actually I'm already in a state of disintegration here, and that the godhead Shiva is already destroying me, if you will. But I feel more I'm in the preservation phase, you know. But at some point, the body that I'm in, the mind-body complex that I'm in, the human being, will begin to disintegrate. Okay, it will at some point, right? I'm a firm believer that the humans, and you can check some of my most recent videos. I'm not a firm believer. I'm a firm knower that human beings can live for many, many hundreds of years, if not thousands of years. Okay, so that's why I said I feel I'm currently more in the preservation. I'm more in attunement with the preservation principle of creation. Godhead Vishnu. But at some point, the body begins to disintegrate because this is the finite world. At some point, the mind-body complex goes into a state of disintegration because you have to give back. It's a cycle: create, preserve, destroy. So Shiva has to destroy at some point. It has to happen. And even if, let's say, the human body is immortal, the consciousness itself is gonna want to leave this body at some point and go have another experience, and that's when it's almost like you owe the earth back your body, and at some point or other you're gonna leave your body and the body gets destroyed, but you as consciousness remain the eternal, unchanging. So everything in creation has to go through this cycle of creation, preservation, destruction, and it all goes at a different pace. This is a different cycle for a mosquito, for a fruit fly. It's a different cycle for a snail, for a turtle. It's a different cycle for a lion, for a dog, and it's a different cycle for astral beings. Some astral beings live for hundreds of thousands of years, but eventually they too have to be destroyed in that form, in that particular form. Not the consciousness itself, but the vehicle that the consciousness takes on, the astral vehicle, to have the experience of being in the astral plane. So those are basically the three principles of creation, the three godheads of creation, you see, and everything has to go through that cycle. absolutely everything in creation. Nothing escapes these laws. These are universal laws. Okay, these three principles, these three Godheads are universal principles that cannot be escaped. Okay, they cannot be escaped. Something comes to be, something is created, right? Godhead Brahma, you could say that's the moment God has imagined something. It created it, the creator. You are God. You're creating everything. You're creating the illusion of separation, the illusion of individuality, the illusion of finitude. Finitude itself is an illusion. So if I believe so much that I'm Saeed Mubayyat, right? I'm a human being. I'm Saeed Mubayyat. I really believe in that. I really take that seriously. Then I fell, I fell for my own self-created illusion here, into the illusion of finitude because I forgot who I am, the driver of the vehicle, the experiencer, the observer of this human being. You see? It's a funny game God's playing with itself, himself, herself, however you want to look at it. And I guess, whenever, let's say for instance, I'm talking in my videos about immortality, body immortality, or if not that, I'm talking about human longevity, human being longevity for health and well-being. What I am really trying to do in these videos is that I am trying to bring out the principle of preservation, Godhead Vishnu, which is the main figure in the Bhagavad Gita. I am really just calling on that principle to preserve this experience longer, because this experience is meant to be preserved longer, the experience of a human being. You see, but there's no escaping the Shiva principle of everything, the destruction. There simply is no escaping that. Okay, even if let's say you hack into immortality, at some point you want to leave the body. The soul says enough of this experience, I want to leave, and the body will have to disintegrate. So you're basically in a borrowed vehicle, in a borrowed mind-body complex, and you're the mind-body-spirit complex because you're the spirit. So pretty cool stuff. I really recommend to check out. To check this out. Go look into the Holy Trinity, the Hindu Holy Trinity, and really study it and understand it because it's pretty cool. It's really neat, and it's just pretty cool. So I highly suggest you look into it. There's a line in the Tao Te Ching that I just read recently, and I will paraphrase here. And it says, the Tao gave birth to the One. The One gave birth to the Two. The Two gave birth to the Three. Or not gave, maybe he uses the word gives, right? So let's say the Tao gives birth to the One. The One gives birth to the Two. The Two gives birth to the Three. The Three give birth to 10,000 things. Because it's that three. It's the Holy Trinity. Those three different aspects of the Godhead that are responsible for the experience that we're experiencing here. You see, this illusory experience of separation and of individuality and finitude. So yeah, again, I highly recommend you check some of these things out, some of these principles, and also look into Advaita Vedanta. Pretty cool philosophical school in the Hindu tradition. Okay, and that's about it. I thank all the generous, wonderful people that donate to this channel. Oh my god, guys, thank you to the Patreons who are monthly donors for this channel, and for all the wonderful donations that I receive on a regular basis on PayPal, the one-time donations. I have links in the description if you'd like to contribute, if you find this content very useful and you have some money to throw our way. Anything really, we would really appreciate it. But you don't have to, you could just keep watching this. I do this because I do this. And I will see you guys in the next video.